guys, the NBA playoffs has officially begun. Welcome to another episode of Sports Runs and Diesel as we talk about day one of the play-in tournament, starting off with the Brooklyn Nets in their 115-108 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers, behind 59 points and 23 combined assists between Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Brooklyn got up to a very fast start here, outscoring Cleveland 40-20 at the end of the first quarter here. Just too much Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, as Cleveland did make a run in the second half, did get it to within 6 with about 5 minutes to go, but just too much Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving making big shots down the stretch. And they will play the number 2 seed Boston Celtics. But getting back to Cleveland, Cleveland still does have a second chance here, as they are awaiting the winner of the 9-10 seed game tonight between Atlanta and the Charlotte Hornets. Now we need to talk about the most anticipated matchup, I think, in this year's NBA playoffs, which is, for the second year in a row, the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics face each other in the first round of the NBA playoffs. What a heavily anticipated matchup here, as, yes, we know Boston does not have Rob Williams because of the torn meniscus tear, but don't sleep on Daniel Tyson, Al Horford, and what these two guys have stepped up their game in the last 2-3 weeks of the regular season, and these guys are ready. These guys are ready, as they're the number 1 offensive rated and number 1 defensive rated team in the league since February 1st. Obviously, defensively, we know their identity defensively behind Marcus Smart and the little things he does. This is a 6 or 7 game series. I really do think that I have Boston winning this in 6, but this series can clearly go 6 or 7 games. I wish this series was happening later in the playoffs, but unfortunately, Boston wins the 2 seed. Brooklyn wins their game last night. It's inevitable. They're going to play in the first round. I'd have liked to have seen Boston play Cleveland in the first round, or Chicago. I don't want Boston playing a very well-coached Nick Nurse Toronto Raptors team. And obviously, you see the problems there with Matisse Thybulle and the 76ers, as Matisse Thybulle is ineligible to play in Canada because he is not vaccinated. And that is going to be costly for them. Matisse Thybulle does not bring a lot to the 76ers offensively, but we know what he does defensively. One of the better one-on-one defenders in the NBA. And obviously, he would have the luxury of guarding Fred VanVleet or Gary Trent Jr., one of those two guys, to try and slow them down, because those two guys can both go off for 30 points a night, as well as Pascal Siakam. But, I'm not going to get too much into detail with that, but clearly the X factor in the Celtics-Nets series is no Rob Williams, but they're still the number 1 defensive rated team in the league, so Brooklyn's got to pay attention to that. But 2 of the top duos in the league, Kyrie, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. What else needs to be said there? I can't wait for that series to start. But we're going to move over to the Western Conference, as the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the LA Clippers 109-104 here to win the 7th seed and play the Memphis Grizzlies. Clippers also do have a second chance, as well, as they are awaiting the 9-10 seed winner, which is between the San Antonio Spurs, who snuck into the playoffs thanks to LA's catastrophic ending, the Lakers' catastrophic ending, and the New Orleans Pelicans. So, Ant-Man Anthony Edwards, 30 points. D'Angelo Russell, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns did not have a great game, only 11 points on 3 of 11 shooting. But it didn't matter. Pat Beverly set the tone defensively. Marcus Smart is a newer version of Pat Beverly. They both play similar styles. They hustle. They die for loose balls. They create charges. They get up in your face. They do all the little things that lead to championship-winning basketball. And, clearly, Pat Beverly said it was a cherry on top for him to beat his former team in the LA Clippers, but they do have their hands full going up against the Memphis Grizzlies and John Morant. Don't forget, they got Desmond Bane and Dillon Brooks, who both average 18 points a game, and then you have Jaren Jackson Jr. is averaging 16 points, and he is in top 5 in the league in blocks per game, averaging over 2 blocks a game. So I have Memphis winning this series in 6. Could this be a sweep for Memphis? Absolutely. But based on what I've seen in the season series was split 2 games apiece. So this could easily go 6 games. And I have Memphis winning in 6. But like I said, this could go 6 or 7 games this series, just because Minnesota has been a matchup problem for, especially Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is a huge matchup problem for Steven Adams on the other end, because Karl-Anthony Towns, low post threat, can hit your mid-range, can hit the 3-ball at a consistent clip. And it's just like you got the deceptive quickness of D'Angelo Russell and then Ant-Man Anthony Edwards, who just goes up and rises up and dunks on everybody like Miles Bridges, just putting everybody on a poster. Thank you guys so much for your time. If you guys have not already, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see all your faces in the next one. Deuces.